There's a kind of power you hold, one that most men never learn to use. It's not in your money, your looks, or even your confidence. It's in the way you speak, and how your words make her feel. The truth is, every time you open your mouth around a woman, you're not just communicating. You're either building desire or destroying it. You're either creating trust or triggering her defenses. Think about it. Have you ever said something so small, so harmless, yet she suddenly went cold? Or maybe she smiled in a way that made you feel like she saw something in you that others missed. That's not random. That's power. And most men use it carelessly. Your words are not just sounds. They are signals that tell her who you are, your strength, your presence, your emotional control. And when you speak without awareness, you give away that power. Every single time. Because the way you speak to women is not just about attraction. It's about self-mastery. And once you understand this, you'll see that every conversation can either raise your value or erase it. You've been told that what matters most is what you say. That if you just pick the right words, she'll like you. If you text the perfect line, she'll reply. If you say the smooth thing at the right moment, she'll feel something for you. But that's the illusion. Because women don't fall for words, they respond to energy. You see, when you speak, your tone, your pauses, your calmness, or your chaos, they all reveal what's really happening inside you. You can say all the right things, but if your words come from fear or insecurity, she'll feel it instantly. Women are not decoding your sentences. They're sensing your state. They feel whether you're centered or desperate. They pick up on whether you're present or pretending. And that's the part most men never understand. You try to impress her with words. But your energy says, "Please like me." You try to sound confident. But your tone says, "I'm scared to lose this moment." And she feels it all, before you even finish your sentence. This is the illusion. You think your power lies in talking. But your real power lies in presence. Presence speaks louder than charm. When you speak with calm conviction, without trying to impress, without trying to manipulate her emotions, you become unpredictable. And that unpredictability awakens curiosity. Because true power in communication isn't about dominating the space. It's about commanding it. Now here's the part that stings. Many men have been conditioned to believe that silence is weakness. They rush to fill every quiet moment because they think women will lose interest. But the silence you fear? That's where real tension lives. That's where connection happens. When you speak less but with intent, you force her to listen differently. You create emotional contrast. A rhythm that pulls her in, then lets her feel the weight of your words. And here's the deeper truth most never see. The way you speak reveals how you handle life itself. If you talk over others, you show impatience. If you chase validation in conversation, you reveal emptiness. If your tone changes when you feel challenged, you expose your lack of inner control. But when your words are calm even when she tests you, when you can express truth without anger, and silence without fear, you communicate strength. Not the kind that shouts, but the kind that never needs to. That's the illusion breaking. You realize you never needed clever lines. You just needed to be grounded. The men who understand this stop chasing reactions. They start speaking from a place of truth, not performance. They listen more. They observe. They control not the woman, but themselves. And ironically, that's when women start to feel something real. Because when a man speaks from peace, his words hit differently. They don't just enter her ears, they echo in her mind. So, why does your voice carry so much power? Why does the same sentence sound charming from one man and needy from another? Because your voice is a mirror of your mind. Every thought you hold, every emotion you suppress, leaks through your tone, rhythm, and body language. You can't fake inner peace. You can only feel it, and when you do, she feels it too. This is where psychology and Stoicism meet. You see, humans don't just communicate with words, we transmit states. Women, especially, are biologically attuned to emotional energy. It's not magic, it's evolution. From birth, women learn to read tone and emotion for safety. So when you speak to her, she subconsciously scans your tone for clues. Is this man safe? Is he grounded? Does he have control over himself? And this is where most men lose power, not because they're weak, but because they're unaware. They let emotions run the conversation. Frustration leaks through their words. Neediness hides behind their jokes. And fear disguises itself as confidence. But once you understand this, everything changes. When you pause before speaking, you're not being slow, you're being deliberate. When you speak softly instead of shouting, you're not being timid, you're being in control. And when you can hold silence without anxiety, you communicate something most men never do: inner authority. Because emotional control isn't coldness, it's strength under pressure. Stoicism calls this apatheia, not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it. When you speak to a woman from that place, she feels it. Your calm becomes contagious. Your tone makes her feel safe enough to open up. Your presence says, you don't need to perform. Just be. And that is where attraction truly begins. Here's something most men never realize. When you speak with grounded energy, you lower her defenses. Her nervous system relaxes. And that relaxation creates trust, the foundation of connection. But when your energy is unstable, when your tone wavers or your voice chases validation, you trigger her survival instinct. She pulls back. It's not about her rejecting you. It's about her body saying, something feels off. So every time you speak with calm conviction, you're not just influencing her mind. You're influencing her body's sense of safety. That's the essence of presence. It's psychological, emotional, and energetic alignment. It's the reason a calm man commands attention without trying. It's why silence can sometimes say more than 1,000 words. And once you master this, you stop chasing reactions and start commanding respect. The truth is, women don't remember everything you say, but they always remember how you made them feel. So if your voice carries peace, confidence, and purpose, she'll associate you with those emotions long after the conversation ends. That's not manipulation. That's alignment. And it begins the moment you decide to control yourself before you try to connect with her. There's a moment every man reaches when he realizes this simple truth. You can't control her reactions, but you can always control your response. That's where power begins, and where Stoicism lives. The Stoics taught that emotions are not enemies, they are signals. You don't suppress them. You understand them. You watch them rise, and choose not to be ruled by them. When you carry that principle into how you speak to women, everything shifts. Because you stop reacting from insecurity and start communicating from clarity. Imagine this. She challenges you. She questions your opinion. Maybe she tests your patience. Not to hurt you, but to see what your emotions reveal. And instead of snapping, defending, or withdrawing, you breathe. You pause. You respond with calm precision. That pause, that silence between stimulus and response, is where your power lives. It's the space Marcus Aurelius called the gap between impulse and action. Every time you hold that space, you send a signal, not just to her, but to your own mind, that you are in command. That's the Stoic shift. From reaction to reflection. From emotion to intention. Now, here's something most men never practice. When you speak, speak slowly. Not because you're unsure, but because you've mastered your pace. Fast words come from fast thoughts. And fast thoughts come from fear. When you slow down your speech, you slow down your heart. And when your heart slows, your presence deepens. That kind of control is magnetic. Not because it's loud, but because it's rare. Now think about this. When you listen deeply to someone, truly listen, you give them the one thing they crave most, validation. Not empty agreement, but presence. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we may listen twice as much as we speak." That's not just philosophy, that's strategy. When you listen more than you speak, you make her feel seen. And that's where respect grows. Here's another Stoic practice. Detach your ego from every outcome. If she disagrees with you, don't take it personally. If she pulls away, don't chase. If she compliments you, don't get lost in pride. Your goal isn't to win the conversation. It's to stay centered within it. This is how you speak with power. Not through dominance, but through discipline. Every word that leaves your mouth should pass through 3 Stoic gates. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? When you apply this filter, you eliminate manipulation and exaggeration. Your words start carrying weight because they come from truth, not ego. And here's the paradox. The less you try to control her, the more control you have. Because true control comes from within. From knowing that no matter how someone reacts, you remain grounded in your values, anchored in your peace. That's the Stoic advantage. It's not about being emotionless, it's about being unshakable. Women sense this. They feel it in your tone, your eyes, your stillness. It's not the loudest man in the room who commands respect. It's the calm one who doesn't need to prove anything. Because when your emotions serve your reason, you become magnetic. When your voice reflects your peace, you become unforgettable. So next time you speak to a woman, remember, you don't need to convince her. You don't need to impress her. You just need to be so deeply grounded that every word you say feels like truth, and every silence feels like strength. You've spent years believing your words were just tools to get something, approval, attention, attraction. But now you see, they were never meant to get. They were meant to give. Your words carry energy. Your tone shapes emotion. And when your energy is rooted in peace, your words become medicine. This is the transformation. The Stoic man no longer speaks to be liked. He speaks because he has something true to say. He listens because he values understanding more than validation. And in that shift, everything changes. The same conversations that once made you anxious now become opportunities for connection. The same silence that once made you uncomfortable becomes your ally. You no longer fear being misunderstood, because your peace doesn't depend on her approval, it depends on your integrity. That's the quiet power most men never experience. Because when you stop chasing outcomes, you start radiating confidence that doesn't need to shout. Here's what happens next: she begins to mirror you. When you're calm, she feels calm. When you're patient, she opens up. When you're grounded, she feels safe to express her own emotions. That's the ripple effect of emotional control. You lead not by force, but by example. And yet, this isn't just about women. This is about you. About the kind of man you're becoming. When you master your speech, you master your energy. When you master your energy, you master your life. Every Stoic knew this. How you do one thing is how you do everything. The discipline you build in how you speak reflects the discipline you live with every day. Now, here's a truth that will stay with you. Your voice is not just sound. It's an echo of your soul. When you speak from peace, people feel it. When you speak from truth, people trust it. And when you speak with presence, the world listens. Because real attraction isn't about technique. It's about alignment. When your inner world is still, your outer world starts to follow. When your speech reflects wisdom, your relationships reflect peace. And one day, you'll look back at all the moments you spoke out of fear. The times you tried to impress, to win, to prove. And you'll smile. Because now, you understand. It was never about being perfect. It was about being present. So the next time you talk to a woman, don't focus on what to say. Focus on who you are when you say it. Because words may attract her mind, but your peace will capture her heart. And when you finally master how you speak, you'll realize the truth every Stoic lived by. You don't need to control the world. You only need to control yourself. You've come this far, and if you're still here, it means something deep within you already knew this truth, that your words carry power. Not just the power to attract, but the power to define who you are, and how you make others feel when you enter a room. The way you speak to women, to people, to yourself, it's not a performance. It's your reflection. You've learned that confidence isn't loud, that charm isn't manipulation, and that respect isn't weakness. It's the quiet strength that speaks even when your mouth is closed. A Stoic once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." And maybe that's the ultimate lesson here. You don't have to convince anyone that you're powerful, wise, or worth listening to. You just have to live it. When you choose silence over chaos, composure over reaction, and understanding over judgment, something incredible happens. You rise above noise. You become the calm in the storm. And when you speak, people listen. Not because they have to, but because they want to. So the next time you talk to a woman, don't think of what to say to impress her. Think of what your words create. Are they building connection? Are they offering peace? Are they leaving warmth behind? Because that is the real power, not dominance, not charm, not control. It's influence rooted in intention. You see, being a man who understands the power of his speech is rare. Most speak to be heard. Few speak to connect. And fewer still, speak to uplift. But you're learning to master the quiet art of presence. You're learning that restraint can be more attractive than persuasion. And that stillness, when combined with purpose, moves hearts more than noise ever could. As this video ends, remember this. You will never regret a moment of gentleness spoken in strength. You will never regret the calm tone that de-escalated chaos. And you will never regret being the man who left others feeling safe, seen, and understood. So speak wisely. Not to impress, but to express. Not to control, but to connect. And when in doubt, pause. Because in silence, you often find the words that matter most. This is Stoicism in practice: quiet strength, deliberate words, unshakable peace. Thank you for watching.